I have been anxiously awaiting this moment for a very long time. So you'll forgive me if I slow down a little bit. First up, let me say, it doesn't feel like a conference to me unless you give out an award. Like that's just something that happens at conferences, right? And I know that if you presented today, there's a little voice probably in the back of your head saying, oh, is there a Best Paper Award? Did I get it? So let me just congratulate you and say if you presented today or yesterday, congratulations on receiving the Best Paper Award from the Servant Leadership School. Because there's no way we can pick just one. But seriously, wow, I have literally been looking forward to this moment for a long time. We want to recognize someone today. We want to recognize someone who's done a pretty good job of maintaining anonymity. And there are a lot of people here who deserve awards. You all deserve awards. A lot of you just won an award. Congratulations. A lot of you have been recognized for what you've done. Because a lot of us, we can write a book, or we can give a speech, or we can teach a class, or we can write a paper, and we can be recognized for these things. But they also serve who toil quietly in the background and make it possible for the rest of us. And there's someone in this room who probably walking into this room for the first time, half of you didn't even know this person's name. But if it's not true that he's touched the lives and improved the lives of virtually all of you, then it is true that he has done so for all of you. And in many cases, again, he's done it in the background. Because he's a servant leader. He doesn't like people to know what he's done. I'm going to tell you a little bit about him, but I'm going to sell him short, dramatically, for two reasons. One, it's the end of the day and we're tired. And two, because he's done such a good job in his humility that I probably don't even know half of what he's done. When I first met him, which was many years ago, when I was on a trip for the Greenleaf Center, serving as their unofficial historian liaison for the Greenleaf Scholars Program, I was in a little bit of an ornery mood. Following up on something that a couple of you had said, I just come from a big servant leadership event where there was a speaker who reminded me a little bit of Oprah, in that he said, who's a servant leader in the room? You're a servant leader, you're a servant leader, you're a servant leader. Everybody say I'm a servant leader. And that actually bothered me a little bit. Like the speaker gave me an angry look because I didn't open my mouth. Because I've actually always believed it's dangerous to call yourself a servant leader, because that implies that you've got it, you know it, you've done it, you don't have any further to grow. It's an aspirational goal, one that we will never reach. There have been very few people in my life who I would actually call a servant leader. And so one of the first things this gentleman said to me when I was told how amazing he was, one of the very first things he said to me was, he introduced himself, hi, I'm a student of servant leadership, and I'd like to learn more. And I kept thinking, everyone's told me if anybody's a servant leadership, this guy is. And yet one of the first words out of the mouth to me was that he couldn't possibly. I asked him about why he did the things he'd done. And he told me that his life's work was to find the next, among the young people, to find the next Nelson Mandela or the next Mother Teresa and pave the way for him. That's pretty good. That's better than my answer. That's pretty good. Again, I'm going to sell him short. I don't say this officially. This is not a Greenleaf Center for Servant Leadership conference. I don't think the people here around the board are here as official representatives, but I'm not convinced the Greenleaf Center for Servant Leadership would exist today if it weren't for the generosity, the efforts, the time, the treasure, and the talent of this man. He started an organization all on his own because he wanted to make a difference in the world called the Wisconsin Character Education Partnership. That's changed thousands, tens of thousands. It's changed a lot of lives all over the state. He has invested millions of dollars in creating servant leadership chairs in major universities. He's formed a group that does roundtables to teach about servant leadership all across Wisconsin, Wisconsin Servant Leadership Ring across the state. When the Greenleaf Center for Servant Leadership announced we can't do conferences anymore. They're just too much. They're just too much work, too much effort, too hard to bring people in. He said, okay, I will do it. I will host an International Servant Leadership Summit. I'm not going to tell a lot of people I'm doing this. The only reason I know he was behind this was because I was fortunate to serve as the track chair for the research side of the conference. And I wrote this down to make sure I didn't miss it. Through his own time, talent, and treasure, 112 sessions in the middle of COVID, because we had to transition to fully virtual, 1,300 participants, a little bigger than what we've managed to get today, from over 27 countries, a true international servant leadership summit. To date, if I've got my numbers right, exactly 50 servant leadership scholars have been named Greenleaf Research Scholars, many of whom are in this room today. And I can say that all 4 of us on the planning committee are Greenleaf Scholars ourselves. How often is it that one man who's not even a university administrator or professor has such a profound and meaningful and lasting impact on a whole academic field, on a whole stream of research, and on managerial practice? So a few of us, a few Greenleaf scholars, got together and we thought, well, maybe the conference is a good chance to try to recognize him. We'd like to thank him, but there's really not anything we can do that would be enough. We all chipped in. We didn't use the sponsorship money for this. This was just our own money. We got something that says, in grateful recognition of your decades of philanthropy and personal support of the servant leadership movement, in your quest to find the next Mandela or Mother Teresa, perhaps you became what you were searching for. Ladies and gentlemen, this is presented to Mr. Richard Pieper.
I'd like to be in the background, actually. It's fun, more fun. Thank you so much, very thoughtful. I will treasure it. First class piece of art.
And it's green.
You've all made it possible. Read it?
No, it's green.
It is green.
Green, yeah, I see that. The earth is supposed to be green.
Green globe.
Thank you, thank you.